Check, 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 mic check, mic check. Feel like Joe Budden. Peace, 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 peace. Hopefully everybody is enjoying their Memorial Day. About to get out here on the grill myself. So, news. Currently, and apparently, we have an issue with our own Virginia governor. Tell me why. This guy here, 2 days ago, was telling us that Virginians could be required to wear a mask in public, giving the new bill. And then 2 days later, he gets caught outside wearing no mask, no protection, not social distancing. This is elitism at its finest. The reason why this is elitist is A, because our own governor is not practicing what he preaches, but B, because we all know that regarding the mask, everyone cannot afford the actual mask that is necessary for us to protect ourselves against the virus. If you paid attention, they are now switching the narrative so that they may be able to open up and control what it happens to the population simply by diverting your attention elsewhere. This is elitism at its finest. People cannot afford, nor can they obtain the correct mask in order to actually fend off the virus. We have the black population here in Virginia having the highest death rate. The black population, some of the most tenants in Richmond, in Virginia. Black people do not own houses, so therefore they're more than likely tenants in a complex. Meaning, and why I bring up the housing issue is because most people who live in apartments do not make a certain income. There are people who are getting evicted who do not have an income. The government is wasting their time they're wasting their time and wasting our time debating on whether they're to give stimulus to the people who need it. You have the Democrats putting a bill out that they passed full of marijuana legalizations, etc., 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 and only giving the population $1,200 yet again. Get over to Congress with the Republicans, and guess what they're doing? They're not coming back to it until after this 3-day weekend. People are not going to get help when they need it. Mandatory mask bills are elitism at its finest. If I cannot afford my rent, if I can't afford to put food in my house, if I can't pay for my necessities, the last thing on my mind is wearing a mask or wearing a covering that is not going to help protect me completely from the virus. I had a friend tell me she would rather wear a mask and die than not wear a mask and die from COVID. I put out this analogy of jumping out of a plane without without a parachute, and jumping out of a plane with a parachute made out of nets. Neither one of them is going to work. If you're trying to protect yourself from the virus, why would you wear a mask that does not work? You are more than likely going to catch it if you are wearing something that does not work. The purpose of an N95 mask is because it works 95% of the time. Now I'm going to go to an effectiveness chart that was brought up. Can wearing a face mask protect against COVID 2019? This is from healthline.com. It said homemade masks. Homemade face masks only offer a small degree of protection, but they may help prevent the spread of SARS-CoV-2 from asymptomatic people. The CDC recommended using them in public settings as well as practicing social distancing and proper hygiene. I want to home in on that first sentence. Homemade face masks only offer a small degree of protection. In layman's terms, they don't really work for this virus. There was a picture that was posted. It had the instructions on the side of the surgical mask. And it said it does not protect against COVID diseases. So you mean to tell me that these masks that are readily available for the general public do not work against this virus? I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. And I'm going to read it once again. Homemade masks, homemade face masks only offer a small degree of protection. Why would I wear something that does not work against this virus? If you read the side of the surgical mask box, it will tell you that they do not work against COVID-19. I am not understanding why they are pushing this narrative for everyone to wear masks, and they are not effective in actually helping anyone. You have to read in between the lines, and you have to read the information that is readily available. Right now I'm looking for the instruction box again, because again, the surgical face mask that they're talking about are the disposable face masks, and they do not work against COVID-19. They are merely a band-aid for the situation. And currently, we don't need any more band-aids. Now, as to why this is elitist, this mandatory mask bill is elitist. It's because the most readily available to the most vulnerable people in Virginia, the most readily available masks to the most vulnerable people in Virginia are the masks that are least likely to help them. The masks that are least likely to help them. So if you tell me that a mask only has a 5% chance of protecting you from getting the COVID-19, you might as well wear nothing. This mandatory mask bill is elitist, especially when you have your own government who wants to push this narrative is sitting out here bright and early with no mask and not social distancing. Your own governor is out here with no mask and not social distancing, and is about to put in a bill that tells you, poor people and poor black people, that you have to mandatorily do as he says and not as he does. Can anybody tell me how, in what country we live in, where the elites, the people who are still getting paid, are telling the people who don't have jobs, don't have a source of income coming in, get to tell you what you're supposed to do for your household? This is recent. 2 days ago, these are his words. We're going to scroll down. His words, not mine. The mask is intended to protect other people. And that's what our goal is. Scroll back up. We have been talking about this for a number of days. We're working through the policy over a couple of days, and I will make that announcement Tuesday regarding that. Northern said Friday that masks were an important part of the next steps. These are his words, not mine. But as we can see, not even 2 days later, if masks are so important, the woman taking the picture isn't wearing a mask, he isn't wearing a mask, and neither of them are social distancing. They are telling poor people what to do. They are telling black people what to do while we suffer as they go out and handle their business the way they see fit, and nobody is supposed to say anything about it. That is elitist in its nature. Creating a bill that makes it mandatory for you as a person, individual, to wear a mask that does not work 95% of the time is elitist. The mask, you telling me you want to protect me, but the mask don't work. You're making it mandatory, so now you're telling me if I get caught, the police can arrest me for not wearing a mask. I can get a citation. I can be charged with some sort of monetary punishment, to which I already do not have any monies coming in already, because the government is not providing everyone with those furnishments, everyone with that luxury. This is elitism. But I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. But everybody is like, you gotta wear a mask, wear a mask so you can protect everybody. You gotta wear a mask, you gotta wear a mask. You're not thinking about anybody else if you don't wear a mask. The point of looking out for people is making sure that they're protected. If you're not protecting the people, what are you doing? If I tell you to jump out of a plane with a parachute made out of fishnet, are you still going to do it? I have friends who have said they would jump out of a plane with a parachute that is made out of fishnet. This is ludicrous. This is idiocracy at its finest. But again, what do I know? I'm just a nobody. Just want to tell you guys, again, love God with all your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. Peace and blessings.